Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the RH podcast, Retro Handhelds. We're here doing it again with Russ. It's me, Thor, and I'm here with Stubbs. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. Doing good?
Russ, how you been, man? It's been a while.
I have been so good. It's so good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too, man. We haven't done one since January, I want to say.
It's been January of like 19 something rather. It's been pretty long.
It's at least 10 years ago.
Forever ago.
Right. At least in the retro handheld cycle, it's felt like 10 years. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, I can't believe, like last year we were waiting so long for so many things to come out, and then they just all came out. And now we're like sifting through and going, which one's amazing, which one's garbage.
Now we're going back to see really how we feel about everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they just keep coming. Like they don't slow down.
Well, we got the Odin Lite on the way, finally, supposedly.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Might get shipping notices here in the next few weeks. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I watched Taki's video today, and I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that PS2 does as well as it supposedly does.
Yeah.
So,
it looked really sharp on that screen. So
yeah, even Switch was playing.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
So
well, Switch, if they ever figure out that hardware translation layer, that'll run almost natively. It may happen sometime within our lives, so we'll see.
I'm good with it. I'm stoked for the Lite because of the battery life more than anything. I love handhelds with long battery life. I just want to put it in standby. I don't want to charge it for a week. That's my dream.
Well, that D900 is 7 or 8 nanometers. I can't remember. It's something really efficient, though. So
yeah,
I think it's 7.
Yeah, I do too. It should have a monster battery life. Monster. Oh, well, but we had the Odin Pro come out. We had the Steam Deck come out. Which, Russ, you have 2 Steam Decks now, right?
Today I do.
Right now.
At this moment I do. So.
And one's going to this guy.
Yeah, one's going back to that guy. So
back to me, yeah.
Yeah, so Thor like hit me up and he's like, hey man, I played around with the Steam Deck and I don't have the urgency here. He was like, and I know you do. So how about we trade device for device? I'm like, sure, but the device he wanted I hadn't tested. Like I still haven't made the video on it. And he's like, no worries, take your time. And then 2 months later, he's like, hey, do you want to just send me my Steam Deck back? I still haven't made that other video.
I saw you got the other one, and I was like, if he's, if it hasn't happened yet, I'm not worried about it. I don't want you to feel burdened,
Yeah.
So.
I've got such a stack. Like I'm in the worst and best case scenario of my life right now. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I got my first handheld, I'm like, wouldn't it be so cool to have 2 of these things? Right now I'm at the point where I can't believe I have 50 of these things. What am I going to do with all of them? And 20 of them I still got to review. And so, it's just, I've got a box. I'm going to have to do a review at some point or a video at some point where I'm just like, hey, here are all the devices I felt didn't meet my threshold of spending 20 hours on. Let's do a video about these ones,
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of those.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting that you spend so much time curating and editing your videos, and then when it's time for us to do the RH podcast thing, I literally just drag and drop shit into Premiere. I'm like, it's fucking good enough. Whatever. Let's go. Render. 10 minutes later. Let's go. It's fine.
Yeah, we go the opposite route of RTC.
And it really shows
a lot of heart. We put a lot of heart into it. Also, by the D900 is 6 nanometers.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So even smaller, apparently.
Well,
yeah.
Well, then.
I know. I Googled it. So
he Googled it. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, man. So that sounds cool. I as well have a number of devices that we haven't done any content on that are hey now. I've been getting into Gameboys and all that, and getting some custom ones made, but also just ones that as well don't meet the threshold, like a lot of AliExpress rando NES 501 units, things like that.
I have one sitting on my desk, and I think you were the one that taught me into it. Yeah, the red one. I have the red thing.
You got the red one? Yeah, I got the black one here.
This little thing. It looks like it'd be so good,
But it has the kickstand.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to call this, my title of this one is going to be A Sheep in Wolf's Clothing, because it looks like it would be great, but it sucks.
It does, but it really sucks.
Oh, man.
So there's ones like that I feel bad. I feel like we should get our content out, but then I try not to feel too bad because lives and kids and
Right.
I just let it go. Focus on the best of the best.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? The screen difference on the Steam Decks, though, right? Because we talked about it and everything.
Hot takes.
Yeah, the video's done. It's going to come out tomorrow, so it'll be out by the time this comes out. But so it is sharper on the cheaper one. Like your image is sharper. Like I took a macro lens, like got in the weeds, and you can see the contours better. You can see the text a little bit better too. To the naked eye, I can tell the difference between the two as well. But the haziness of that upper tier one that has like that etched glass or whatever is actually very like pleasing to the eye overall. Okay. And so, yes, it's a little bit sharper with the other one, but I would prefer that other. And that's weird because I like sharp things. Like I'm a pixel kind of guy, right?
Me too.
So, but it turns out I was like, actually, overall, like this makes me feel like a better human being, and so I'm gonna go with this one. And the colors are a little more rich too, and so those together I was like, because Thor was like, I don't really like, because I was like, I don't know which one I'm gonna send him, you know, like which one am I gonna send? And it turns out I'm keeping that high tier one. So
and I feel that way too. It's weird because that matte, almost like TFT type screen normally makes me cringe. I have it on my gaming laptop, but for some reason on the Steam Deck there's something about it that's I'm okay with.
Yeah,
like it's
really
so
balanced.
Really balanced when light hits it, when you're outside especially. It's just it's good.
But the thing is, it is not $250 good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even if you take the $400 unit of the 64 gig one and you threw a 512 gig SD drive in it like Thor did, right? That's about $90. So you're talking less than 500. Still, $150 difference, not worth it. You know what I mean?
No.
So because I bought it, yes, I'm keeping it. If I had a time machine, I would go back and just get the cheaper one and save the $150. And just
that upgrade was so easy too. But I have a real question for you about the screen difference. Which one are the finger smudgies worse on?
Oh, by far the cheaper one.
Oh, is it that bad?
Yeah. Oh,
by far. That makes sense. Yeah.
And it's like, after you're using the high-end one and you go back to the other one, it's like playing on a mirror because you can see your face, and then you can't stop seeing your face. And it's like, I'm like, I should be playing Hades, but I can't. I'm playing myself. Like I'm
just seeing my nose pores, and I can't do it. I need to go get nose pore strip. What about like a screen protector? Have you put a screen protector on either of them?
So Thor, I'm going to send you one. I bought 4, like, because I always mess them up. So I'm like, I bought 2 different 2-packs.
Good guy.
And so I'm going to send you the screen protector. You can make your own decisions, right? Like it's America, freedom and all that. So, but yeah, I am going to probably put it on. Happen. Yeah, I'm probably going to put it on the etched one to see what it's like. But I don't know. We'll see. It might make it worse, So.
That's what I was worried about. I have a screen protector for it, but I haven't put it on yet because I'm like, it's like a weird screen to have a protector on. Like putting a tempered glass protector on seems strange on this particular screen. So I've held off. And like it doesn't get dirty. It doesn't really get smudges. Yeah, and it comes with the microfiber cloth in the case. You just give it.
And the case is much better too. Yeah,
it is. I got a Steam Deck case today. I'm gonna show you guys.
Oh, he got another one.
I actually haven't seen the
one that comes with the Pro
side.
is much better. Yeah, I do that in the video. I kind of show them off. Oh, okay. The one that comes with your model is like, it just collects dust, because it's like that soft black inside. And so, yeah, I like the other one.
Look at him. Look at those legs.
Oh, he's got like one of those felt ones.
You got one of the special ones, I think, that like were custom made for him or something. Is that one of the special boys?
This was like $14 on Amazon.
Oh, I thought it was like one of the bespoke ones, You know which one, the leather ones,
like that,
Waterfield or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of imitating that, I think, but
I have one.
It feels really nice, and it has like a zipper. You can put your micro SD cards in here.
Cool.
And your cords and whatnot, and it works. I like it. It has like a very bespoke button.
Yeah, so I have one of these.
Oh
similar.
Yeah,
this is for the Switch
Lite, right?
But it's too small for the Odin. So.
Right.
No, I ordered that exact one for the Odin.
It's too tight around the edges. Yeah.
Oh no! It'll show up tomorrow, and I'll be like, oh, there's disappointment in this box. Okay, fine.
Unless you have a Switch Lite.
I do have a Switch OLED
Oh no.
But
yeah, he sold me his Lite, and I
take the
sold it to
Joy-Cons
Kay.
off, and you'll be good.
No, it's fine. I did get my Odin though, finally.
Oh,
so I got my
look at that.
my Panda Odin showed
and
up.
it lights up the LEDs.
It does, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I know. I'm sorry, because you got hooked on the LEDs, didn't you?
Yeah. So I got the purple one, and this was going to be our replacement for the black one, and doesn't have LEDs, and makes me sad.
Are you going to get the cold gray one next? Is that
I'm not getting another one. No, I'm not.
No?
I'm not doing this waiting game anymore. AYN.
Well, they're talking about releasing an upgrade kit for the LEDs, like RGB or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
we'll see.
I heard that.
We're gonna find out.
There's the lights.
Don't do that.
I know. Oh gosh.
Well, I got the transparent black myself for the Pro, and then I sold my regular black one to Flatfoot Fox so he can do a written review for RH.
Yeah. So I tricked somebody. It's a weird trick, but basically, so Jim Gray, I think he's been on. Has he been on here before?
Yeah,
talking about AYANEO. Yeah. So
we're doing an episode with him again next week.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. So he made the intro music for my channel that I've been using for a while. People keep saying, oh, the Stranger Things song or whatever, but he made that, from scratch. It's amazing. And he doesn't have an Odin. He had one and then he canceled his order or whatever.
Right.
And so...
And has been FOMOing really hard since then.
Yeah, he's like, hey, can I buy your other Odin now that you have the new one? And I'm like, sure. And I go, what's your mailing address? So he sends me a mailing address. I'm like, okay. And he's like, so how do I send you the money? I'm like, you're not. I finally get to pay you for the song. And so I tricked him into getting a free Odin.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so nice.
That's heartwarming.
Because he wouldn't take any of my money for the song. He's like, no, I'm not taking your money, blah, blah, blah. I did it because I love you or whatever. And I'm like, no. Like, you're an artist. You need compensation. And so
that's really cool.
He's such a good guy,
really
too.
Good to hear.
And he did RH's intro for us as well, for people who didn't know that. And he mastered like my last album that I released. And he didn't want me to pay him for that too. And I was like, screw that. So I sent him an RP2 Plus.
Nice.
Same thing.
It's beautiful.
So what we're saying is Jim takes payment in the form of handhelds.
Right.
Whether he wants it or not.
Right. I saw a really funny interaction, and it's probably actually the one he got from you. So he, Faustinator, you guys have had him on as well, right?
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
He got the 503 from Anbernic, and he doesn't like it. And so he put it up for sale on our marketplace, right? And then Jim messaged him and said, I'll trade you a Retroid Pocket 2 Plus for it. And so then they did it. And then Faust hit me up on Discord. He's like, hey, man, I'm getting a Retroid Pocket 2 or 2 Plus. I'm like, wow, that's a really great deal for the 503. That's a great trade. And then Jim's like, hey, man, I'm getting an RG503. And I was like, oh. And I figured it out like through my Sherlock Holmesing that it was the two of them had like interacted. And so I brought it up to Foster. I was like, oh, hey, is the guy you traded with Jim Gray? And he's like, how did you know that? So it's pretty fun.
Deduction. Psychic.
Yeah.
I always enjoy doing that too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, good. I'm glad everybody. It's all working out for everybody because we do seem to have this like trade alley between all of us, right?
Yeah.
It keeps happening.
We're talking about, and Thor, anyways, is really talking about doing like a in-person swap meet in like Vegas, and do like an RH con, con light.
Yes, we are discussing that.
We're discussing just doing some sort of server meetup, maybe next year, and then like over a weekend, right? And then we'll do some gaming, we'll do some swaps, we'll have some music, we'll have some food. Yeah,
we got to gauge more interest for it though, but I do think it could be a lot of fun, especially because of how tight the community's gotten, especially like with the patrons and other people being really, really, really involved. So it could be fun for people to fly out with their custom game cubes and do some trading or whatever. I think it could be fun.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
Yeah, it was a joke, and then it's like, well, do we want to do this? Because we could. Let's plan it out enough in advance.
Yeah,
figure out, a venue, meet up in a hotel or whatever. But I think we're gonna do it. It sounds like so. More to come on that. If you're interested, let us know somehow.
And bring your Analogue Pockets, right?
Yeah,
show off all your FPGA devices, your misters, all that stuff.
I will trade my beloved Q36 even in the swap meet with the kickstand.
Yeah.
So That's
I
right.
won't have it by then.
You keep bringing up the kickstand. It's a massive special thing.
Right.
It's so silly.
Like we all use the Nintendo Switch kickstand so much. Right?
Oh man.
I mean, I do on the OLED. I like it. It's how I play because it's comfortable to put on the desk like during a meeting or something, and like just
so you look engaged.
For me, I like it.
But really, you're just playing Breath of the Wild for the 19th time.
Yes. Business. Yes, numbers. Look at these graphs.
Fucking bokoblin. Oh, business.
That guy's working hard. Yeah. Well, what else is new? What else is going on?
I brought up the Analog 600. Pocket. I really want to talk about that.
Okay.
I really want to talk about the Analog Pocket because it's gotten a lot of coverage, and I've had it for like a month and a half now personally, and there are good things and there are bad things about it. And I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it because we've all had it for a little while now.
About a month, yeah.
I've had mine. Well, I had mine for 2 hours, maybe more than that, about 6 hours before I got on a plane to Texas, where I got COVID and it was delayed, and so I was without it for a long time. But now I have it back, and so I've had it for maybe 2 weeks now altogether.
Okay,
nice.
I'm going to make a video about it, but
okay.
I don't really like it.
You don't really like it?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, why not so far?
Well, so, the limitations of it are probably the biggest thing for me. This is the Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance is it. And I mean, you can get adapters and all that, but who is going to do that?
Sure.
And yes, you can sideload Game Boy and Game Boy Color games through the analog the Game Boy game making thing, and then and then I have an EverDrive. So put the EverDrive in Game Boy Advance, so I can play all the Game Boy Advance games, and then I can sideload all the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. So I have the whole catalog, right? Mm-hmm. That's like a Analog Pocket dream right there. But it's just the price. It's just not enough.
Yeah. It's tough to like truly enjoy it.
I have a very hot take about it, and I'll tell you guys after you guys are done. And it'll be the conclusion of my video too, so spoilers. But
gotcha.
I want to hear your guys'
I
take.
think the lack of jailbreak is we've gotten to the shitty point, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, this device has been out for a while. We've had first and second and third waves, I think now. And I get it that they're still selling the modules and everything like that. And there will be a jailbreak released for it eventually, but it's past time, I think. I mean, it's been almost 6 months since it was first released, and so many people, that's what they got it for. They want to play their ROMs, and they don't want to sit there and swap out. The fact that you can swap out, that's really cool. It's super duper niche. If they had sold the thing without the slot, I think it probably would have been worth the actual price, personally.
Right. Yeah. And that's the other thing, right? Is the Game Boy Advance EverDrive gets in the way of my fingers on the back. And I'm like, how is it that it's a worse experience when I add a game to it?
And the EverDrive drains the battery faster too, because it has to power that CPU or that little PCB in there.
And so the EverDrive is capable of loading GBA emulators, right? So there's an NES emulator for GBA you can put on the EverDrive and load it up. And it is some of the worst emulation I've ever had on a handheld. It is worse than like the Powkitty V90, like by far.
Yeah, with the screen tearing and all that.
I have the Easy Flash with the custom firmware on it. And I found it to be a very enjoyable experience with NES and Game Gear games. I haven't really gone out beyond that, but it works pretty well.
Yeah. So here's my hot take on it. And I don't hate the thing, right? Like build quality is incredible. I'm going to keep it. Like it's going to go on a shelf somewhere because it is so amazing looking. And
it's beautiful.
I got the white one.
It's gorgeous.
If you are going to spend $250 on a handheld device because you want to play retro games, then hear me out. I recommend that you buy the RG552. Like that's my
552
same
over
damn
the pocket.
price.
Wow.
Because it can play Game Boy Advance amazingly, Super Nintendo amazingly, Nintendo amazingly, and Game Boy Color. You will have some black bars, but it's not so bad with the 5:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And so and the buttons are incredible. It's more comfortable to hold.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I never thought I'd be at a place where I'm like, I recommend buying the 552. But in this case, if you are somebody who wants your retro games, and you want them perfect, that's the one to get, not the Analog Pocket. At least for now. Well, if they jailbreak it and everything else, maybe.
You can break into Android, you can break into N64 and PSP and stuff like that too on it. So.
I might argue the 503 if we're going this route, just because of that OLED screen.
Those buttons. Sorry.
Those buttons.
Yeah.
Those buttons.
With the dust you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I pick it up, I'm like, now's the time. I'm going to enjoy it. And every time I'm like, nope.
No.
I
thought it was starting to do the dusting now too. Yeah.
Well, it's funny that when I took it apart, it's the first handheld that I've seen that the buttons are interchangeable in the slots. The A, B, and X, Y.
So I listened to your guys' stream and I was like, oh, now I'm excited because I have a second unit, because I sent you the blue one, but I have the gray one. And I think I might do that. So
yeah.
Well, Stubbs is bringing a stack of something over.
Yeah. Let's see what he's got here.
Okay. Well, I grabbed a couple of my. So
I got the
Analogue Pocket first, and
is the battery.
The battery.
I'm not terribly impressed with the battery on the
no, it dies way too fast. In fact, it gives me battery anxiety when I'm playing on it because I know I have limited time, so I better enjoy it
old
right
school
now.
DMG days where you're mashing the contrast wheel so you can save your Pokemon game before it dies.
The screen's beautiful, and here's my quick take on this thing after having it for a while. I still love the buttons, the face buttons, the kind of chiclet style buttons. I love that. It does get it kind of cramps up my hands a bit after playing for a while, but I can't get over how beautiful it is to play like Game Boy Color on this in particular. It looks so crisp. Until I wanted to compare it with a real Game Boy Color that's been modded with the IPS mod. Which thank you, shout out to Eems, who both made me this Game Boy Color and made me a flash cart that looks like Super Mario Land 2.
Super Mario Land, amazing. That's great.
So I can rate my backups to it.
So you prefer the original hardware? Is that what you're saying?
I do. Yeah. So now after having this, it's just
so small,
it's small, but it's like it's more fun. It's like more ergonomic to me. There's like a magical button up here that you can change the brightness with. Between like
so I haven't held a Game Boy Color, full disclosure, since 1999. Like I haven't touched one. So I don't even know what they're like.
Now these custom ones you can get these days are just really nice. Here's an all white one to kind of match the Analogue Pocket vibes with some like rainbow holographic effects.
Are you running triple or double A batteries in there?
Yeah. Double A's right there.
You didn't get the C charging mod, huh?
So I have that kit, but I haven't installed it yet because I'm afraid of breaking it. Maybe I'll send it to you for my perk or whatever. But yeah, in the end, I'm playing the Game Boy Color more than the Analogue Pocket for Game Boy Color games. Wow. So that's what I've been playing Game Boy or Super Mario Land 2 on. And then for Game Boy Advanced, I love this as well. I played like Phalanx on it for Game of the Month or Game of the Week. And then I went out and got Eems built me a IPS mod Game Boy Advance.
Look at him go.
And
let's see where this is going.
Guess what? I like this better than the Analogue Pocket in the end because it's the system meant for the games.
I do agree on the OG GBA for GBA games. Now the 552 has essentially the perfect screen for it, I think, or at least the best screen I've seen so far.
It's a 7x integer scale, basically.
Right, that's crazy. But as far as the Analogue Pocket versus the original GBA, even like the sideways GBA, not even the SP, the original GBA definitely takes it.
I did the SP just to compare as well.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I'm a madman.
You have an addiction.
Full disclosure, too, I don't really enjoy playing Game Boy Advance games on the Analogue Pocket because they're 3x2, a little bit squished looking, and
and I had to natural. I don't know what's wrong with me in my brain meats, but I had to take it and move it up to the top of the screen so there was a bar at the bottom because it just didn't look right being centered.
It looked
in
better
the screen.
being up there
to me, at least. I'm sure that's a weird thing for me, but yeah, I just couldn't do it with it being centered. I'd hoped that they had done something a little different than that. I would have been better off. It would have been better off with sidebars on Game Boy and Game Boy Color, I think. But personal opinion.
If anyone wants my opinion on what do I like better, because I never had one of the regular horizontal GBAs when I was a kid, but I did have an SP. And guess what? I still love the SP better because it's a clamshell. So just if you wanted to know. However, guess what? I'm playing Game Boy Advance on none of these. I'm playing it on the Odin. So when I played WarioWare last week, I just played it on the Odin because it had achievements and the screen looked awesome.
So, it feels extravagant to play Game Boy Advance on the Odin. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like playing on almost, Steam Deck.
It's just,
it's cheating. You know, it's not okay.
Yeah. Well, I played Metroid Fusion on my Odin Pro several weeks ago. Like I played it all the way through, and I deeply enjoyed it. But I do understand what you're saying, because even with stretching to the screen, which I'm a stretch weirdo, like I filled it up. Like that face, that little bit of
the judging
there, I can feel it. Yeah, but even with it filling up like that, I did still really, really, really enjoy it being huge like that. And I don't think I can go back to the OG hardware now that we have such huge screens and awesome battery life. It's just not for me.
I did too. Yeah. WarioWare, I was okay stretching it full screen. I went through your walkthrough, and like I made the scaling as best as I could, but I did stretch it just all the way. And it looked awesome and chunky, and I had the best time. So, not sorry, but
it's all good. I'm actually not really that hung up on it. It's more like I just want to make sure when I make a video that those who do really prefer that, have that opportunity to see what it looks like. So,
I'm trying to be a snob about it. I'm learning. I don't know if I'm.
I think it's one of those can't be unseen things. Like once you know it's there. Like when I was setting up the Steam Deck and you talked me through integer scaling for SNES to make the life bar look correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'll never be able to unsee that now. Like it's ever. And then there was something else, I think in the ROM Hacks channel or something like that. Somebody was talking about Super Mario World and how in the original version of the game, next to in between the O and the W or something like that, there's a pixel that's off, and somebody released a ROM patch to get rid of that one pixel.
The one pixel.
I can never unsee that. Ever, never, ever. I always will have to have that ROM patch from now on, just for that.
That's it. That's how it has to be. Well,
that's how it has to be.
I did choose to do 4.3 on Cool Borders too. I'm playing in the background here on my PS1 because I could stretch that. I could stretch it to 16.
Get the original disc in and everything.
Got the original disc. I pulled the controller out, but it's running on the PS1. I have that's just literally plugged into an HD TV into the into the regular old RGB plugins. So I mean, there's no cool upscaling going on. I did get the hardware for that today. I need to learn how to use it, but it should make it look better for next time.
Well, we've been talking about really big screens, but what the hell is up with the Miyoo Mini V2 screen? Why is it so much better than the V1?
Yeah, there it is. It's the V2.
It's like it's 0.5 millimeter of lamination, and somehow it makes all the difference in the world.
It makes all the difference. It's not washed out. It doesn't have that fuzzy look on it.
Glow.
Like might as well be 10 miles of difference. It's amazing.
For the same price. Actually, I think it's a cheaper price these days because the V1s are going up to like $80-$90 for a while.
Yeah. And it comes with a carrying case now too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little red case.
More bang for your buck. And
yeah.
Feels great. It's just I love it. I've been taking it everywhere with me. And then the other day in the mail, I got this little guy.
That one so good. I want it so bad, but I already have
black.
I already have two of them, and I'm like, I don't really think I should buy another one.
I ordered the black and the blue one the day they were available, like the minute they were available from AliExpress. And then keepretro.com or whatever. They emailed me the next day and they're like, hey, we've got these in stock. I'll send you one like super quick right now. And I'm like, okay. Because he wants me to put his link on the video. I'm like, I don't care. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, everyone knows where to find these things now, but sure, we'll play your game. And so he sent it like super fast DHL, and that's how I got it so fast. So I'm going to do a quick video about this and also probably give it away in that video. And then I'll get my other two in and I'll do another proper video and use AliExpress links instead.
Cool. I'll send you my home address.
Is there a textural difference with the transparent plastic?
No, it is. That was my first like wondering as well, is like how smooth is it? Is as smooth as the other one, and so it's no grittier. Like with the Odin, it's very gritty for the see-through one. Which I love. And this one's it's a little bit slick still. But it's okay. But it's cool. Okay. Like I can see the battery.
See the battery,
and they're using the labeled battery now, which is kind of cool.
I like that.
And the only thing,
so
and I'll show you guys
2.5 or something.
Yeah.
Labeled battery.
What is it?
Light bleed is pretty bad. because it just goes all throughout it. And so this is not something you want to play in bed, unfortunately. So that was a little Chrono Trigger playing there.
Ooh, that's right. You're playing Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, about 2 hours into it.
Nice.
We need to talk about that. And also, here's my one gripe with the white mini, and I guess the transparent, is those 4 colored buttons. I guess I'm tired of seeing the PAL look on the buttons. I kind of wish they do some different variants, or like send out different button packs. Let's do white buttons. Let's do some different options.
I think Sakura Retro Modding is making a bunch of buttons for it.
That's what I heard. And I wonder if that's out. Actually,
I want a back label, like a nice, like a
they just released one. That. They just released that.
Oh, really?
Sakura Retro Modding, yeah.
I definitely want that. And then I may, not in this video where I compare them or like check this one out, I may go and do electrical tape over that LED light. Just to dim it a bunch.
It might be worth it.
So, yeah. Because this is the one I would like to play at night, So.
Put a resistor on it.
Okay, Sakura Retro Modding on Etsy is releasing. You can pre-order now Miyoo Mini buttons. You can get DMG for DMG red ones. You can get SNES US pink, black, red.
Wow.
SNES clear, $8. I am totally.
I think some of them are concave too.
Yes, they are. Yeah, looks like a few of them are.
And they'll be more textured. Some people don't like the slickness of these buttons, and so they'll be a little bit more textured, like kind of closer to an Anbernic feel. Nice.
Yeah, I'd prefer that too. And they do have the holographic stickers you can put in the back now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only other difference is that the D-pad is black on this. It's dark gray on the others, so it's actually black on this.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I almost got one of the blue ones. And then I held off. I'm like, I already have like 4 Miyoo Minis between the V1 and the V2.
It's
and
a
I
very
have Jim Gray's
blue,
customized one.
So I'm not sure how I'll like that. But we'll see.
Those DMG buttons I'm probably going to need to get those, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. And Sakura Retro Modding is just the best if you want to customize a lot of these devices, especially Anbernics.
They're not paying us to say that. They really are just like the only name of the game right now.
Yeah,
we invited them on the podcast though recently, and they said that they really can't speak English that well. That they're in France, and they would love to come on the show and talk to us, but it's just they think that language barrier is going to be tough to get through. And I said, all right, well, we'd still love to just stay in contact and talk because I adore this shop, everything they do.
So I hope I'm not giving anything away that he doesn't like, but he is former military as well, like French military, and so I can see that his attention to detail and stuff like that. Like I love it. I jive really well with him. So
yeah.
Well, the end quality of all of his plastic products is ridiculous. Like to the point where I'm wondering if he has some kind of injection molding setup or something like that. Like it's really sharp.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, customer service is always good too. And I'm like, actually, can I try? I'm thinking about this. He's like, sure, no problem. Change that up. There you go.
Shipping is a pain to me in Hawaii for some reason. Like that Pacific Ocean thing, it adds 3 months to the shipping timeline.
What?
Like he sent me something before Christmas. He's like, I'm going to send you some stuff. I'm like, great. And I got it like in April, and I'm sure he's like, this guy, I sent him stuff and he didn't make a video. And like, I have it. I just haven't gotten to it. But yeah, it took like 3 or 4 months to get to me.
Well, how many devices have been released in the last 2 months, even 3 months? Things are getting crazy.
Yeah,
it's getting crazy. And then there are so many devices that are still coming. I know about a couple secret devices. One of them has an RK3588 in it that's planning on being released in about 4 months at retail. So
I heard about that. Yeah,
that's right.
It's going to be It's going to be a little crazy. It's going to get a little hectic around September-ish, October-ish for the Christmas season, even. So, who knows?
Yeah, we can't even talk about that yet, can we?
No.
It's hard enough, that each of these companies are coming out with new devices, and we got to keep up with their latest and greatest. But then there's companies like AYANEO, right? And they're like, we just made all these perfectly good devices, and here are 5 more. You know, it's like slow down yourself. Like we have enough with all the companies. Even just keeping up with that one company is too much. Like they're just going crazy.
Well, I'd say that Air,
and Arthur is he's smack talking too. He's out there, the owner of the company. He's just like, hey, look what we got. Y'all stuff sucks. He's just. He's all over it.
He's going full bore. The slide,
but they're
the next
going so
two.
hard on Windows devices, Aya in particular. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that the Air was a Windows device. That's crazy. I legit thought that maybe they would finally go Linux or maybe even Android, but
I mean,
no, Windows.
Someone's going to load SteamOS on that thing, and that will be the killer device. I've not been excited about an Aya device until I saw the Air, and I am totally pre-ordering that the second it comes on sale in my time zone at 4 a.m. on the 28th, and I'm going to be up at 4 a.m. getting that bad boy because I really want that with the OLED screen.
Oh, that's
see
why
what we
right
can.
There.
Yeah, see what we can do with it.
So what do you think it's going to cost?
I was going to say, is there a price yet?
We don't know. I mean, the rumor is $650, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm guessing it's going to be about $900.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at $850.
Unless they went into the future and like got parts and brought them back, it's going to be 800 plus. Yeah.
It's going to be tough, and that's like going to be the one just fancy PC tier handheld that I have, I think. And
I need to see like benchmarks and in-game performance and all that stuff before I even consider buying it. No way.
It looks so good though, and it's in white, and those shoulder buttons
you have a sickness.
are different colored. I'm not happy about that, but
I'm not either. Yeah.
Other than that, it looks really freaking good. So, yeah.
I don't know.
See. I'm very interested in actually. It's because it's got that size that I think is big. It's like an Odin size,
Yeah, it is
really excellent size, and I just hope D-pad, face buttons, all that is great too.
Sure.
Yeah, I might play that more than Steam Deck.
I think that pissed off a lot of the Aya people, like people who really love them, when those first few designs were coming out, and everyone was like, oh, "They're copying the Odin." Oh my god! Just immediately that was the first thing that they went to. Not they're copying the Switch, not that they're copying the Steam. No, they're copying the Odin specifically.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Odin's a great design. Okay. It's a good looking handheld. Like, do what you're gonna do. I'm not stoked it has Windows, and I really hope we can get Android or Linux on that. That's my only other thing.
It's x86 still, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so
that's the hard part right there, getting the drivers for it.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. The other one, of course, is the Win 600. That is on the horizon. We don't know when exactly, but it's coming real soon and at a much better price point.
I can talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about this thing. Yeah. Let's have a conversation.
Like I made that video, a speculation video, and it's a weird thing. So we first we have to talk shit about the 503 for a second. So this is the one where they sent it to me. They always, Anbernic has sent me a device every cycle since the 280V, right? So right around the time I had 1,000 followers, they said they got in touch with me, and it's not even them. It's a guy who's a fan of theirs in China who knows them. And so he works as an intermediary. Like I've never had a conversation with Anbernic before, right? Like I don't know those people or anything. I only know this guy. His name's Lee, and he does Venture Electronics, like an audio like
VE Clan,
company, right? Yeah, VE
Clan,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's my only contact is him. Like through him, I talk to everyone, or whatever. So there's always a filter going on, but his English is good, and I think that's probably why they use him. Anyway, so he's been sending me stuff since the 280V. And it always comes late. There's some customs thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I always get it after it's already been released. And so I play catch up and I do like a quick impressions. And then I do my review a few weeks later.
Yeah.
This thing came out and it hadn't even been on their website yet. And it just came to my house. And I was like, great, let's do a video. Like I can finally do what we've always intended was for me to do an impressions video,
Yeah.
So I put it up and then... and I, mine go live at 4 a.m. local time, right? Because in Hawaii, we're like in the middle of nowhere, like time zones never really work. So all my stuff comes on at 4 a.m. Around 4:30 in the morning, my phone blows up and I have all notifications off. Like I like my sleep, but people are calling me and it says, China is calling you on my phone. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And of course, I'm not answering that, right? Like I'm not doing that stuff, right? And so I get these voicemails and it's this lady and I can barely understand what she's saying in the voicemail, but it is not Lee. It is, they got like my shipping manifest, because when you do international shipping, you're supposed to put your phone number on there. Right. They pulled up some shipping manifest to me, found my phone number, and were calling me and asking me to take it down. Because
holy crap,
they have like their own timetable of when information's supposed to come out, and it's supposed to come out from them first. And I don't agree with any of that stuff or whatever. They can do their own marketing, right?
Sure.
And I had no idea that there was any sort of embargo is the word they want to use, but it was really just they just didn't want people to do it before that, basically.
Well, because they just sent it to you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it just showed up.
Yeah. And so I was angry. I was like, I couldn't believe that breach of privacy initially, right? But then also I was like, okay, I understand from their perspective that they're their company and they have the right to market it how they're going to market things, right?
Right.
And this has been bad communication, but at the end of the day, like, it's still their product, right?
Right.
And a lot of people thought, oh, I'm in their pocket and they're paying me, and so therefore, like, I'm a shill and I'll change. Like, they didn't like my review and therefore they wanted me to change it. They didn't understand my review. They don't speak English, right? Like, they didn't know what I was saying about it. They just saw a video came out, right?
Right.
And so it was nothing about the content. That's the timing. So they said, take it down. And I said, okay, if I take it down, you're gonna get a lot of drama, right? And I was like, this is gonna be bad, but I will do it. Yeah. But here are all the things that are going to happen, right? People are going to call me a shill. People are going to call you guys a bad company for like being controlling and all this other kind of stuff. I said, you guys still want to do this? And they said,
and that happened.
Yes. Right. And they're like, oh, we got to do our timetable. I'm like, your timetable sucks, but okay. So I took it down. Stupid. And all the drama happened, and I don't think they realized it, but they saw it. Right. And so, long story short, when I put the video back up, like I waited the week, whatever, and I just brought the same video live again. And it went back on my timeline, and by then it was just too late, and the ship had sailed at that point. And so it is what it is. But they felt bad about it, and I think they lost a lot of interest at that point from the community. Like, people just didn't really care as much anymore about just their tactics or whatever. So they said, oh, we'll make it up to you. We'll give you some exclusive content on the Win 600. Right? Oh. And so that's the video I made last week, right? I made a video where I'm like, hey, is this thing going to be any good? And I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't like, I kind of like asking questions because I don't like to have insider information. Like, I'm just like, I'm a member of the public too, right? And so if this is the information that's out there, that's what I'm going to use. Like, I don't want insider. Like, I'm proud to announce that I'm the guy who knows the information. Like, that's not me, right? I'm just a guy who loves the games, and I want to just kind of, figure it out with everyone else.
Right.
And so I said, send me some pictures of what it looks like from the top and from the bottom and the sides and stuff like that. And so they said they couldn't send me the back because they're still working on the back. So they got me all that stuff, and I said, oh, put a ruler there so I can see the measurements, so that way I can make a cardboard version. And so I got all those measurements and then got it all together and then made the video and stuff. And it was fun, but honestly, I don't know much other than I have heard teases of the chips. And I mentioned those 2 chips in the video too. That's not from them. Like, I just have seen it on like Chinese forums and stuff.
Right. So, QQ and Baidu and all that.
My honest opinion is that Anbernic has a talent for making something very nice about a device and making 2 things that are very not nice about the device. And in this one, I think the 2 things that are not going to be nice about it, and I'm, again, no confirmation, just spitballing here, they're going to screw up the RAM. I don't think it's going to be dual channel.
Right.
And they're using Ryzen or AMD at least, right? Which favors that, very heavily. And I don't think they understand that, so I think that's going to happen. And I think that ergonomics are going to be a disaster on it.
Yeah.
So that's my hot takes on it. But
I'm going to tag in one on that one real quick too, on the 600. Yeah. The shoulder buttons will not be analog, the L2, R2.
Digital. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're digital. Right. And that's for a Windows tier device. People are going to expect a GameCube and things like that. You really should have analog triggers. I'm not talking necessarily like Hall sensors and stuff like that. That's really cool tech, but you need analog triggers.
So here, but this thing's going to be in the $200 price range, supposedly.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that.
I think I mentioned that in the video. I was like, oh yeah, it could be 300, even 250 or something. I think 300. Yeah, I think 300 is probably
at 300 that might be a little rough for me.
Well, here's all right. This kind of segues into my my shit talking for this week. I am tired of all of these companies who have now decided to release multiple SKUs for the same device. So We have to have different memory sizes. We have to have different storage sizes. We have to put in different processors, blah, 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 and then call it all the same device. It's never been terribly confusing before. It's getting confusing now, especially for regular users that aren't like hard-lined into this. And we get so many questions. Right. What's the difference between the Odin Base, the Odin Pro? Does it really need that much RAM? Like, no, not really, but it's nice to have just in case, you know?
Yeah.
And just the understanding of, well, why would I pay an extra $70 or whatever? That conversation doesn't need to happen. Just release one version.
One thing.
People can buy SD cards, you know, to upgrade their storage. Like, it's going to be all right. Please just release one version of your device. I'm not talking about like the difference between the Odin Lite and the Odin Pro. I do see those as two different devices.
Thor, no. What you're talking about is putting Cheeto Steve out of business.
Oh my
He'll be on the street. He won't be able to afford Cheetos for his family, dude. You got to let him go in there and fuck up each handheld in his own way, the way God intended.
Like, people are going to buy the Odin Lite expecting to be able to use the C port in the dock for video, right? Because they're not going to read it without realizing that they have to use the HDMI on top. That doesn't seem like a big issue, but that's going to piss a lot of people off when they get it. You know
what pissed me off, and I mentioned this probably in multiple videos. The 503 I actually can't use as nice as that screen is because of the placement of that goddamn reset button on the bottom. When I go to hit the function in RetroArch to do anything, I'm like, oh, I beat this level. All right, here we go. Go to save state. I reset it. And then I put it down, for a week because that was dumb.
Yeah,
that was so stupid.
When I was messing with it the other night, the load slot button was part of the same combo as the fast forward button, and it kept loading slot back to the beginning and stuff.
Oh yeah. On the stock firmware, they've overridden the hotkeys through a file, like a text file that's within the operating system. So you have to SSH in and actually manually configure it, knowing what the keypad numbers are and everything. Like it's not an easy fix. It'll override any RetroArch hotkeys that you set. And so
yeah. And to bring up on this particular, just a petty point I want to bring up here. I was telling Thor that what the hotkey combo was, and other people in the stream are like, oh, Russ probably made it into his setting and then sent it to you. Can you clear the air on this, Russ?
Yeah, I didn't. I haven't had the energy or the desire to actually go in and fix that. I did it on the 552 because they had that same garbage set up, right? And a couple of people helped me like set that up. There's no interest in doing that. So I honestly, I haven't changed anything. I said, you know what?
Yeah.
Amberlec, Default. Jealous, and ArcOS, I think, and the Retro Arena, I think are all working on it, and so, and 3 of those, I think are going to be out in the next week.
Really?
And
wow.
I'm very surprised about ArcOS because he doesn't really like big devices, but apparently he likes this one. And so he's like, sure, I'll get it working.
It's been a while since we heard from this Christian, right?
Yeah. And so he's working on that. And so I would expect in the next couple of weeks. They sent me a couple test builds already. I just haven't had the time this weekend. I really can only do deep dives on Saturdays and Sundays. That's like my only time to do this stuff. I knew this weekend wasn't going to work.
Does Jealous have a release for the 503?
They have a test release that's on their Discord right now.
Okay. All right.
I don't know anything about Jealous. Is that closer to like 351 Elec?
Yes.
Or closer to ArcOS?
Right. So Fute or Futarius is the developer behind Jealous. He is the original developer of 351 Elec. So he was the guy who came up with the first custom firmware specifically for the RG351P. My very first custom firmware video about the 351P was Fute sending me a message and be like, hey, you person who has 200 followers on YouTube, do you want to try this thing out? I'm like, I don't know how to spell custom firmware, but let's do this, So, like that's where we were at back then. And it seems like a lifetime ago, but that was like a year and a half ago. And so he started 351 Elec and brought in a big team and stuff. And it just got bigger than I think he wanted. And it became more work than fun. And so he pulled out and he was like, you know what, you guys are having so much fun with it. You take it. I'll do my own thing.
I'll do my own thing.
Yeah. But then Anbernic, like, again, they're not good communicators. So he was still on their mailing list, right? And so he got the 552 and he's like, oh, this thing's pretty cool. And so he started his own firmware, which funny enough, he forked 351 elec into his own firmware, which is, was his firmware, then not. And then now it is his again in Jealous, basically. So yes, it is a fork of 351 elec that's been pared down to just the things he likes about it. Like he's like, I'm making this for me. And you guys can get in on it if you want. That's like kind of his thing, right? And it's very similar to like Mini UI on the Miyoo Mini and the Trim UI, basically.
Sean Inman made it his way.
This is what I like.
He's not going through all the port master drama, right?
Right, exactly. And so, and so Jealous is like the most bare bones of all those custom firmwares, but still, works as it does. And then, ArcOS, I would say, is a step above that in terms of, the fact that it's a little bit more robust on the Linux side, so you can get in there and program and stuff if you want. And then Anbernic has become that more like curated user experience firmware.
Right.
Interesting. That's cool. I mean, I love Anbernic. What was 351 elec, just because it has all these options and it's very user friendly. So I definitely try Jealous out.
It's
I really neat. It's funny that none of the Linux guys have implemented touch yet. Because we have all these touchscreen devices.
There should be touch on the
503.
They don't really see
the only one you would want to use it is on Drastic, right? Like that's the only one you'd want to use touchscreen on for emulation. But Drastic on Linux is closed source. Like they can't get in there and make some tweaks. So I'm assuming no, they keep saying they're going to, but they never have.
It's not.
And so my guess is that, that's why the text is always so small when you go in the Drastic menu, is because it's closed source, so they can't go in there and fix it, and so,
all right.
Yeah. So that's probably why they don't really care about touchscreen. I have heard though, on the 503, they are implementing Bluetooth on the Linux side, which is not something they typically will do. And so that's great because I found this works really well with Bluetooth controllers. And so,
cool. And it has that HDMI out on it. So
so it could be a little console.
Speaking of
what everyone
sensors,
wanted with the 351, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hall sensors and Bluetooth, you reviewed a controller this week. The Giga Kit.
Guli Kit. So
Guli Kit.
Yeah, Guli Kit. I've learned that Guli means grain, like grain of rice. And that has something to do with like their company in Chinese. And so that's why it's
Guli Kit, and it's called the King Kong 2.
King Kong 2 Pro.
The King Kong 2 Pro. I was on the verge, because you can sell, ice to an Eskimo in your videos. And I was watching this video, and at the end of it, I was almost purchasing it on Amazon. But I was like, I don't like that the buttons are silver on the shoulder buttons and that it's black and all that. So I'm going to wait. But it looks so good. It looks so good. And it actually stirred some drama because people were fighting about this controller across the Discord.
Really?
I didn't see that. Yeah, it was a really popular video. And a lot of people bought that controller because of you this week. And there's like been some hot debates and like in DM threads even that I've gotten into, that it's intense, because
I'm genuinely excited about this. I've probably gotten, so the thing about my channel, I mostly focus on the things I like, and I think other channels like chase views and stuff, and that's not really my thing, I don't mind it if no one watches a video. Like I just like making them, I like making controller videos. I like making
it's fun.
There's some that I know just won't do well. Controller videos, no one watches them. Case videos, like if I'm like, hey, here's a case for your device, nobody cares except for the small segment of people who have it already or whatever.
Right.
It's fine. Like I have so much fun with those, right? But I've gotten so many controller videos that I keep pushing it back because I'm like, okay, there's other handhelds that are a little bit more interesting and stuff. And I've been meaning to do lots of controller videos. But when this one came in the mail, I was like, this one needs a video right now. Like that's how much I liked it, And so I think that says a lot about it, is my enthusiasm. And I guess that carried over in the video because it's really nice.
Yeah. You know what video I really appreciated of yours? I don't know if it's a popular one or not, but it was just your handhelds you took for your COVID trip. I really loved that video because I'm about to go back to San Diego myself. And I'm like, what handheld do I take? And it's funny, like you brought your Vita, your Miyoo Mini, and your Steam Deck. And I want to know why you didn't bring your Odin, I suppose, for one.
I could talk about that. So, if you have more than one question.
No, I mean, that's about it. It was cool that in the end, you only played your Steam Deck because I'm like, maybe I'll just bring my Steam Deck.
So I had different tiers, right?
Yeah.
I had a top tier I wanted to bring. And that was the one that could play mostly everything. And that was going to be the Steam Deck, the Odin, or the AYANEO. It was going to be one of those, but not more than one of those.
Right.
So that's why I didn't take both the Steam Deck and the Odin, because the Steam Deck can do everything the Odin does, right? And the Odin can mostly do everything the Steam Deck does, but not quite. And that's why I chose the Steam Deck. And then
in my head, I see them as 2 completely different tiers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, for me, because I'm very retro game focused, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, for me, it's like, I just want something that can play up to GameCube, you know, and both of those can do it, no problem.
Yeah.
And then the middle tier one, I almost didn't take it. I almost just didn't take the Vita at all. But I was like, but there are Vita games on here that can't be played on anything else. And maybe I'll finally play one, you know? And I didn't touch it. And then the Miyoo Mini was for everything else, you know, just like the, hey, you know,
the
5 minutes to play Gameboy.
Got it in my pocket.
Well, I got to say, for Vita, I followed your Vita hacking guide recently, and I just got into Vita in the last few weeks, and I've been loving it. I've been playing my Vita 1000 a whole bunch, actually playing some Vita games like Uncharted Golden Abyss for like a day or two, and then I'm like, I don't really like Vita games that much. All right. And I put it down, and I ended up playing for some like PSP, like Twisted Metal Head on it, and I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, the PSP, the PSP hack thing that you can do with it is awesome. Like I'm wildly impressed with it.
Yeah,
still,
I followed. With Adrenaline, I followed all of your integer scaling stuff, and I did to specifications, and I agree, it looks awesome to spec.
Yeah,
and I stretched it.
I played a bunch of they're called Atelier games. They're kind of complex JRPGs.
Rorona.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoyed on the Vita, because there's a bunch of them. There's like 5 or 6 of them. So they're really involved as far as like the combat system and crafting and all that stuff, which I know crafting's been done to death now, but they're really fun games.
Yeah, for me, the Vita, like what's most interesting to me are the PS2 remakes. You know, Final Fantasy X, the God of War games, you know, things like that, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper. So all those, I'm like, I definitely want to play those. But like I start with God of War and I get to that point where you have to balance across a beam and walk across it. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I remember doing this 15 years ago and I hated it. I'm not doing it again. So.
I like the Vita for bite-sized games, like a Sony All-Star Brawl. It's like a ripoff of Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
You can play as like Sweet Tooth and all Mega Man, all that, or no, whatever Sony's IP is. Anyways, that game is really fun. And I just, you can play it for like 5 minutes, and it's a great Vita game. That's the one I played probably the most.
I never played any of the Sly Cooper games when they were out originally on PS2, so I saw it as my golden opportunity. Like I got ready. I was excited for it because I love, collectathons and things like that. And I started playing it. And I was like, were games really this fucking bad back then? Like we just didn't notice. Not because it's a bad game, but the controls and like lining up jumps to jump onto tight ropes and stuff like that are excruciating. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I bought that one
for PSP. Not great.
Yeah, I bought the Sly Cooper back in the day because I was like, it's like playing a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like it's so amazing, it's so shaded or whatever. And I hated it, the controls and everything like that. So I
just not intuitive.
Well, it didn't get better on Vita, so just so you know.
You're right.
It's still
well, it's cool to know that you ended up with the Steam Deck. For my trip, I feel like I might take the Odin only because Steam Deck is so big.
Yeah.
Even though I got the travel case for it. And I've been playing it this week to see like, all right, is this something that's going to be comfortable in a hotel room and all that? And just the Odin's a little more comfy to me. But my wife's been playing.
Yeah, the battery life.
And the battery life, I don't stress because the Steam Deck, I see it ticking away on me. And I'm like, I got to have a power pack or something. My wife's been loving the Steam Deck. She's been playing Portal on it. And so we might bring it just so she can finish that and school me on that and numerous other games like Team Fortress. But I think those two are probably what I'll bring.
Yeah, so, I like it. I think it's a good fit. Yeah, I think the Odin is a really good travel device. There's RG Geek, I think is the name. I can't remember his channel, but buddy of mine, right? He has he's done a lot of Odin content, and he did a travel one, and he even had like footage of him while he was playing on the plane and stuff. Yeah, RG Geek. And
he's a good guy.
Yeah. And so he did a really neat video just kind of showing what the regular experience was. And that I saw that before I left, and I was like, oh,
Huh.
Still bringing the Steam Deck, but that's awesome.
You still... He loves the Odin, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's from day one, he was like, this thing's going to be great, and he was right. So
yeah, he's correct. Well,
and
we'll see how
I guess that is the debate, is because the Steam Deck is more powerful and it does everything the Odin does versus the portability and battery life, right? Like that's what that comes down to. Well, and price, obviously.
Yep.
LEDs.
LEDs
or lack thereof of LED.
I'm so sorry that you're purple. It is so silly that they don't have LEDs in the transparent cases.
Yeah,
that is so.
But somebody
crazy.
showed me, like, you know, the rim around the joystick. It's like a squarish rim on one that has LED, right? And I guess when it's turned on, it just lights up a square, right? But because you have an opaque case, it just filters it all to that circle, right?
So
so you would never get that nice little circle like you do. You know,
that daughter board that's on the side there, that has the LEDs in it. And then that square is a lens that the LEDs lights up to diffuse the light. And then that has another lens on top of that, which is the circle around the analog stick. But then on the sides, it has 2 ribbon cables with SMT LEDs on it. So there's no like modding it or anything. Like you have to have a whole kit with daughter board replacements to put it into any of the transparent kits.
Yeah. If they get to that, I'll do that, and I'll do a video and all that stuff. That would be great. But yeah, there's no, because people are like, oh, just swap them with your other one. And I was like, well, I'm not going to give Jim Gray Odin without LEDs, right? Like, I'm not going to rob him of that experience.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't know how much he's going to love that.
Yeah. Well, he's not a huge Android guy, so we'll see how it goes.
I
might see it on the willing to trade thing coming in the future in the marketplace.
I doubt it, man. Once he gets it, once it clicks in his head, oh man, he's gonna love it.
I don't know. He was huge on the RP2 Plus, and then I think he got rid of that. I think he got another one though
for the 503.
I don't know.
Yeah,
he's like me though. Like we go through our devices so fast, just on a whim, you know. And that's part of the fun of this hobby. Is it's just so. And if you don't like something, you can throw it in the marketplace and or swap with somebody. It's so
I'm not like that. I get a handheld, I mess around with it a little bit,
hoard it like a dragon,
and then hoard that shit like a dragon. Exactly, exactly. It's in a box.
So
it's over here. I know where it is. Mine.
So it's not even that for me. It's like you've joined my family, right? You've entered my house. You're under my roof,
right?
You know, I'm letting you live here rent free. You're part of the family now, right? You
adopted you,
and so
I've adopted you like a kitten.
I don't like getting rid of them because I'm like, yeah, this is my I'm gonna need this for some certain video at some point, and
you never know what.
Big thing.
Well, because you know, as soon as you get rid of that second RG351P or whatever, right? As soon as you get rid of it, you're going to need to do like an RG351P, like blowing it up video, like a drop test video or something.
Right. I've rebought like handhelds that I've given away. Like I didn't know I'll give away because I got 10,000 subscribers or whatever. And I give away this thing. I'm like, I'll never use this. And then I'm spending not only did I spend all the money shipping it to somebody, but then I spend it to get it shipped back to me too. And so it ends up a lose-lose situation. So,
I've done
except
that
for
too.
the
I got my
giveaway winner. I guess they get a lot out of it. But.
I still can't believe
that part's
I bought a second mini. Like as soon as they were like, oh, a V2, I was like, I got it. I know the performance isn't better. You know, I know it's the same device, but it's like, ooh, it's a better screen. Ooh, the battery has an extra 100 milliamps. You know, gotta have it.
It hurt my soul to buy the RGB 20S though. That's one handheld, the Tiger Boy, as we call it.
The ultimate 3326.
The ultimate 3326. I'm just hyping up our future video, which Russ, if you're around, we would love to have you on.
Yeah.
There'll be a live stream. We're going to talk about the ultimate 3326 and compare all of them and see if we can come to a consensus, because it might be the Tiger Boy. I don't know. Double analog.
We're gonna find out.
I'm here for it.
So that might be fun.
I would drag them all out. I think I have all of them except for like the Odroid stuff and the 10 Max 2, which I know you guys have that between the two of you.
Yeah. I actually have the OGA. It's in my stack down here. I have the OGA original one, the one you have to construct yourself, and I never did the video on it. So I have that, but just not actually here. And I don't have the RK 2020 either.
I'm about to have the OGA from Damien. I'm going to grab that from him for the first time. So I've never touched one either. We'll see how we feel about it. Russ, I want to pivot to like personal stuff, but first I need to throw shade your way. I've been collecting a bunch of physical media and like consoles because you made a good point recently. You're like, I'm starting to get consoles just to like share that bit of history with my kids, which is super heartwarming. And I thought about that for like a month or two. And then for some reason, I saw a PS1 that I didn't get from Thor. Sorry, Thor.
That was a whole
and now I
saga.
have the bug. And now I'm like, this feels so good to boot up this PS1. And then I got a PS2, a modded one. And I'm like, this feels so good to play like Guitar Hero and like some of my favorites on there. And now I have an SNES on the way.
Oh, beautiful.
But I didn't buy games for it. I just bought an EverDrive knockoff.
Holy crap. Oh, dude, how much did you spend on that? What did you spend on the
on the knockoff? That's the
it's like 4 SNES games in this market.
It's right like now. 4. Well, I priced out all my favorite childhood games, and it came out to like $500.
Yeah.
Or I get this one game, and I just have the cool, chill, nostalgic hardware. So I went that route because I'm like, I would be a madman if I were to buy SNES carts right now in 2022. Right. I would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. So I did that video a couple months ago where my parents sent me, like for my birthday, they sent my childhood consoles, So I opened it up, and it had like 5-6 games each console in there. Super Nintendo and Nintendo.
Yep.
And that's what kind of started, because I hooked them up to a CRT that we had, and I let my kids play Duck Hunt, and they just sucked. And I was like, this is so cool to watch them.
To watch them do it.
Yeah, they're playing, they're shooting and stuff, and they just naturally like push the gun towards the screen, like cheating, like how we did as kids, right? And I was like, it's a human thing. That's beautiful.
That is so cool.
So that's when I started getting the bug, and I looked at Super Nintendo prices, and I'm like, no. And honestly, that wasn't a device I ever owned as a kid, so I don't have that connection and stuff. Like, we never rented those games as a kid or anything. And so, but Nintendo, yes. And so I've been buying Nintendo games. I've been various sites and sources and stuff like that. When I was in Texas, like the one day before I knew I had COVID, I like found a retro game store and bought a couple games and stuff. Nice. So it was kind of cool.
That
I got a few games.
I got like 50 games. It's crazy. Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
I have like probably 40 PS1 games now, because that's that's the console that I'm so just in love with still to this day. And I was playing a few of them with my daughter the other day, and she found it so funny that there's cords attached to the controllers. She's like, what do you do with this? I'm like, it's the cord. What? Huh? I don't understand. Why can't you walk around with it?
Yeah.
Back in the day, honey, there.
And there's no rational reason why I'm doing this at this point, because I bought I keep pointing to my stack, but I got a stack of goodies over here that need to have videos made. And not too many months ago, I bought Mister, like the actual console, which is on NES and an SNES. Like it is that. Yeah. And so I don't need to be buying the same. Right.
No, it doesn't feel the same.
But it doesn't smell I even have same. Like the little the adapters, so I can plug the original controllers in and like have it latency free. Like I have all that stuff.
Beautiful.
Spent $400+ on that.
Great.
And, it's still in the box. Material.
That mouth. So. That mouth feel is going to be completely different. So that's the rub right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
the Mr. setup it's a whole process though, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But I've got the bug. Now that 32X came out a few weeks ago, and now PS1 came out, like as of last week.
What?
So
oh wow, really?
It's fully playable, and Saturn's next.
What kind of compatibility for PS1?
It is. It is
like,
PS1.
No, it is a PS1.
Oh wow.
They said that there's a couple like little things, but they're in the 99 percentile at this point.
Yeah. But does it make the CD scratching sound like when it's loading?
It doesn't rev
See,
up.
I'm sure it can emulate.
You don't get the you don't get that. You don't get that with the Mister.
Yeah.
But you probably do get like a bunch of other cool stuff.
So what's left that they think is capable? Saturn.
I think that's the max.
But not N64 or anything like that.
No, I don't think so. I don't know if anyone's working on it, to be honest.
All right, guys. What games continue?
Go ahead, buddy.
I'm at the hard segue.
No, hard segue. Do it.
A hard segue. I feel like running over a bit because I'm just having a great time talking to you both. If you're good with that. What games have you not been playing, Thor?
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
so there have been a lot of Steam sales lately, and I've been indulging and then not playing games. I I bought a bunch of stuff on PlayStation. I have not finished the new Horizon game yet, The Forbidden West, even though it's gorgeous. My wife's been playing it.
Should be.
But I have not been playing it. I still have not finished Monster Hunter Rise.
What?
I bought that with a buddy of mine, and we have not finished that. And then I've started and stopped like probably 60 or 70 retro games between SNES, GBA, GBC, N64, all on the Odin. So
you're playing the menu game. You load it up for a second. You're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I originally started playing Star Ocean for SNES, and then I was like, I'm going to try this on PSP, and then got going on that, didn't finish it. So just a rainbow of games that have not been completed. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I've had going on. What about you guys?
I appreciate that. Yeah. What about you, Russ?
So my biggest failure, I think, in terms of game playing is the Ace Attorney series. So, I had the RG351V, the little wood boy, and I played through the entirety of the first game and halfway through the second game. And it probably took me 8 months, right? Every night when I went to bed, I'd play that. And this is one of my favorite in-bed systems because you can lay on your side and it's like not huge, right? And so it's actually a nice one to play in bed when you're like laying on your side. And so that's what I would do before I went to bed every night. And I got through a lot of it. And then the Odin came out. And so I took my save game from the Drastic on this. I converted it over, found wherever they hide them in the Android side, and I uploaded it into there. And so then I resumed my save game on the Odin. I was playing that for a while. And then the Steam Deck came out. And so I got the Steam Deck, and I'm like, this thing can play Switch. And there's a remastered version of the trilogy on Switch, but it's halfway through the game. Like, it's halfway through the trilogy at this point, right? And I'm not playing through that first half again.
No.
Me 8 months. So what I did then is I found, like, there are websites, and I didn't know this, that have save games. Like, you can just go and down, like, they're like 100% completion save game of whatever, Mario World or whatever, and you just grab it. And so I grabbed one of those. It was a 100% completion one, because once you've beat the game, you can go back to any chapter,
Oh, okay.
So then I loaded that onto my Steam Deck, which had Switch on there, using all the tools that I made videos about and stuff. I got that running, and I got back to that same moment that I was at in the other one, but now remastered. And then I stopped playing, and I never played it again. And it looks so cool, and it's so easy because the touch screen and all that.
Is it because like the save file's already beaten, so it's kind of like, what's the point?
No, like I literally, what it is I don't like playing Steam Deck at night in bed because it's so big, and so I wanted a small thing to play in bed, and the Miyoo Mini has taken over now as my bedtime thing, because not only can I do the side thing and it's great, but I can also, this is how I play it. I hold it like this, and then I use this finger to push the buttons. I don't do the thumb thing. I hold it like this, this, and then this. And when you're laying on your back and you're doing that, it's actually like a really kind of neat experience,
Really?
I figured out that method from watching speedrunners play Mario 2. And that's how they hold an NES controller. They use it with their index fingers like this while they're playing. And so I tried it out, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty comfortable. And so I've been playing Chrono Trigger on the Miyoo Mini at night now.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
One failure and one success at this point.
That's cool.
Are you going to get Magus?
I don't even know what that is. Is that something in Chrono Trigger?
Yes, it is.
Character?
Yeah, it's a mystical character.
I have no idea.
Is this your first time playing it through?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so I've gone to the past, and I'm in the future, and that's all I know. So
gotcha.
I'm still at the fair, like at the beginning. I've started.
You ran into the girl or whatever.
Yeah, I ran into the girl.
Here's your medallion back.
There's like a frog character. I've started that game probably 40 times in my life because it's such like a classic game that everyone recommends. Yeah. And I've played like every version of it, and I can't get over the hump of it.
Yeah.
And then the game I'm not playing and I should be playing, God, Dollar Bill is gonna thwart me for this, and Super Zoo, but Star Ocean. So I committed to like a Star Ocean challenge where we play through every game in the series, and everybody, because it was Game of the Month, we got through the first one, the second one, and the Game Boy Color one is what I'm playing in my Analogue Pocket, and it's too much. It's like a 20-hour game. It's too much for me right now.
Can you do the audience a favor and explain to them the console buying and ROM hacking saga, please?
The console buying, I mean, we've talked about this before, I think, but okay, yeah, I wanted to specifically play Star Ocean Blue Sphere for the Game Boy Color on the Analogue Pocket, the ROM hack for the English ROM hack, and I could not for the life of me get it to work. You know, it didn't have a Pocket file, or it did, but not for the English hack. And so, long story short, I had to buy a Game Boy Advance SP because for the Omega Easy Flash drive or whatever, you had to like upgrade the firmware, but you can only do that on an actual Game Boy console, not on the Analogue Pocket for whatever reason. Did that, do all these things, and all along I could have sent it to Thor, and he could have just done his magic on it and then sent me back a working Pocket file with the English hack. I bought like 3 different consoles to make this game work for a silly little challenge between 3 people.
And this is the game you're not playing.
And this is the game in the end.
Exactly. That's why I'm making
I'm not
the story.
that I'm not playing. I went to great lengths. You know, I told those guys, hey, I'm going to close the thread down because you both beat the game and I'm just an embarrassment at this point. But I will beat it this year. Mark my words. This year I'm going to beat it. I've since moved on now to really enjoying and not playing Elden Ring. So thank you.
Right. I got to tell you guys that, the writing's on the wall though with Chrono Trigger. I'm not going to finish it.
You're not going to finish.
And it's not because it's a bad game or anything. It's I'm finding it's a difficult game because I don't have patience to grind and stuff. And so I'm having a challenge when I get to the bosses, right? Which I don't like in video games. I like to feel like a superhero when I play a video game. Anyway, but another game I haven't played and finished is Final Fantasy 3 or 6 or whatever, right, on Super Nintendo.
Fantastic.
And so somebody mentioned that to me, like, oh, have you played this one? And I'm like, actually, I haven't. This was a YouTube comment. And I said, what's the right one to play? Because there's a Game Boy Advance version, you know, like what's the right version to play? And
there's
he's like,
PSP one.
Yeah. And he goes, oh no, it's the Super Nintendo one that's been like modded, right? You have to do like a patch to it, basically. It's the uncensored Japanese version with like additional text and all this kind of stuff. And so he gave me the name of it, and I went and I found the patch and I patched it and I put it on the Miyoo Mini. And now every time I open up the Miyoo Mini, I'm like, is today the day where I start Final Fantasy 3? And if I'm already thinking that means it's already happened. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of
it's already done.
Yeah, because that excites me. Like, because I pulled it up, and even the opening sequence, the English was different, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this one. You know what I mean? I was already
tell
excited,
me, share with me what is this version? I haven't heard of this.
I forgot the name of it. It's the name of the guy who worked on it, and it's called the Uncensored Patch. I'll send you the name of it or whatever.
Okay,
but it's super. You know, because to patch a Super Nintendo game is very easy. A lot of people think it's very hard, and they're like, "Oh, can you make a video on how to patch?" I'm like, go to the IPS patch website.
Take
the IPS file, put it in there. Take your ROM file, put it in there, and then download your ROM, and you're done. You know, it's like 3 seconds. And so, I just did that, and super awesome, and worked perfectly. So,
well, that's a game I haven't beaten. I would love to play. If there's a better version out there, I want to hear about it.
I just found out recently that Legend of Dragoon has a community-made patch for it that fixes like a ton of bugs and streamlines the battle system and stuff like that. I'd never heard of this before, but somebody was asking me the other day which version of Legend of Dragoon to play, and I was like, the hell are you talking about?
It's already perfect.
And then I looked it up, but I mean, it's a ton, like item bug fixes, just a whole list, like a full version update almost. It's crazy. I haven't gotten into it yet, but that's going to be my next thing. And I'm going to try to play it on the Miyoo Mini. I think that'll be fun.
Well, good. That would be fun. What have you?
Good for you.
We're talking like all this nerd stuff, video games, handhelds. Like
it's our lives.
How are you guys?
What the hell are you talking?
I know, but how are you guys doing? You know, I haven't even gotten to that tonight. Like, how was your day today? How about that?
How was my day today? I'm selling my damn house, and
right.
I need a buyer for my house. It's only been 2 days, but I'm already like. You know, just like
you could put it on the RH Marketplace.
RH Market, right? Okay. Anybody have $350K they want to spend on a house in the middle of fucking
Jim
nowhere?
Gray will trade you for something.
Yeah, no
he'll
kidding.
Send you like 40 Miyoo Minis.
40 Miyoo Mini.
Well, and I heard you need to find somebody to mow your lawn as well because it's taller than you are now.
This is the whole drama. I've talked to you previously about getting the house redone and everything like that. I just can't get anybody to show up. Like nobody wants my money. I don't get it. So
because the grass is too tall, it's too intimidating.
It's tall. No, it's not even that. It's just people just won't show up. I mean, they just won't. This won't do
I
it.
will
I don't get
fly
it.
there. I will bring my machete.
Yes.
I will chop your grass
It's
all
not machete
day.
height. It's not like darkest Africa out here or anything like that. It's just
attach achievements to it for me. Like, just if you can just yell out your window, like, ba-ding,
ba-ding,
unlocked, unlocked something. And then, like, if you have like a nice cold glass of lemonade, and if I could wear a straw hat while I'm doing it,
because we've got great beer out here. I mean, world class stuff.
I'm gonna lose focus if I drink beer. If I
get sleepy,
I'm gonna get sleepy and need a nap. If you want me to machete your grass, Thor, I'm gonna need lemonade. I'm gonna need achievements.
Well,
okay?
I appreciate that.
Dopamine.
I'm sure I can come up with some lemons and some Chivos for you. We can make that happen.
Thanks. Right. Okay. Thanks. Good. Russ, how are you doing? What's up in your life today?
Oh man, it's busy. Kids doing kids stuff, extracurricular stuff. So that's like my day today was like, baseball, and one of my sons had an audition for a summer camp that's like a live play thing or whatever. Cool. But I am 6 weeks from retiring from the Navy. And so that's
how many years
that
in?
Takes up
22?
I'll be at nearly 23 by the time I retire.
Oh, wow.
And so
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. And so most of my days are filled with, like, you wouldn't think it, but the amount of paperwork and everything else to just leave is like crazy, And so they throw it all at you at the end.
I work for state government, but I still have a slight sense of the paperwork.
Yeah, because they want it all to be set up, and then there's just like, goodbye. We don't ever want to hear from you again, And so it's like, you got to get it all done, and it makes sense because back in the day, people would retire from the Navy and then they would go and like move to Thailand, and things like that, or the Philippines, whatever. And so where they could just be kings for the rest of their lives,
Right.
And so because I don't know if you know how the military system works, but the day you retire, you get a retirement paycheck for the rest of your life, the stipend, and so, and it's not bad. It's half pay, and so that's why people stick in for the long haul.
They stay in there. Yeah.
And so, by the way, that pay system's changed. Like, anyone who joins now, it's not like that anymore. They wisened up, but for those of us who joined like a long time ago, we were grandfathered into the old system. And so cool. But anyway, really cool. So just getting all that set up and stuff, it's a pain, as you can imagine. You've heard about the VA and all the difficulties with that and that stuff. And so, so it's both frustrating, but also like super cool to be like 6 weeks from now, I'm going to make video game videos for a living,
That's some light at the end of the tunnel stuff right there. Huh?
Yeah. Super fun. So
we want to support you however we can. I know there's some stuff coming up, some collaborations that we want to talk more about with you, but we are on Team Russ, man. So just RGC all the Team way. Russ.
Yeah.
I love doing these podcasts with you. Love just, having you in the Discord.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm hoping to be just more present. That's my big thing is that, my current job, I actually don't have internet access during the day, so I'm coming home at night, making dinner, all that stuff, and then just jumping on the keyboard as much as I can, helping out people, and then passing out and doing it the next day and stuff. And so,
so when I DM bomb you with like 17 messages during the day about something silly that happened, and then you come home, you have to go through that and 900 other messages.
Right. And so, I'm hoping to be a little bit more real time, and then I don't plan on making more videos than I do now. I try to do 2 to 3 a week, and that's going to be
a lot.
Pace. Yeah,
which is a lot already,
especially given the depth that I go to in some of those videos, Yeah. And so my plan is to not increase the throughput. Like, I'm not going to be a daily YouTuber guy. Like, that's not really, I don't have enough to say, I don't think, but I do want to put more quality into it. Like I have a very set formula. Like I'm sick of seeing the green mat myself, like I want to add more to it, and so that's my plan, is to get a little bit more cinematography and stuff into it. And I have a passion for that too. I was a food photographer in my food stuff, my previous career. And so I don't really use a lot of those skills, and so I'm going to start bringing those in, I think. So not cooking with handhelds, but like photography. So.
Well, I like to ask you lots of personal questions, especially now and tonight, because I need fodder, because I'm writing you a song for your patron perk.
Oh yeah,
and I'm almost done with it. So it is corny, cheesy, fun. and embarrassing. So I can say that.
It's perfect.
It's on the
sounds like every song I've ever written.
It'll be good.
That reminds me. I don't know why that, like the image of the guitar. I'm sending my daughter to sleep, like legit no electricity sleepaway camp at the end of the week. I forgot to bring that up. Like hardcore camp. She's going to be gone for 2 weeks.
Really?
All right.
Wow.
Archery, horseback riding, swimming in a lake, all that stuff. No electricity, no tablets, no phones.
That's
none of it.
They just give them a flint, and they're like, if you want to be warm tonight, you got to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, what if I get bored, Dad? Boredom is what we had as children.
Oh, dude, there's no great boredom
things.
There. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's always stuff to do.
She's going to be she's going to be so wiped. This is number one. This is the longest she's been out of the house, right? This is the longest she's ever been away from us ever. She did about a week when she was an infant just because we needed to sleep and recharge. But other than that, it's never been more than a couple of days. But this is going to be 2 weeks. It's a huge exercise and independence and everything. But I'm so excited. She's so excited. She's going to come back filthy. I mean, filthy.
Yeah.
I might make her ride in the bed of my truck on the way home filthy. All right.
Well, good. Well, that brings me a little bit into my day. So I spent all day at a 7-year-old's birthday party. Our daughter turned 7, and it was a lot of thank you. Yeah, she's also going to summer camp this year, by the way, so she's going to be out for a while. But I haven't been out lately because I've just been moving, and now I've been unpacking and like trying to make my office look as nerdy and fun as possible. I was just out like playing ultimate frisbee with family today. And I got lots of sun, lots of vitamin D, which in Oregon is tough to come by. And it's just been good, man. I feel like life is, for me, settling back down and getting into a new flow. And I'm just, stoked to be a part of everything we're doing here and the retro community. And so,
I'm about to be
life is good right now.
You were 2 months ago, you know it? About to have a
2
baby,
months ago.
buying a house, doing the house dance, all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the triple combo of the new house, the new baby, job change. We got a puppy. Like, I was so stressed and like trying to do these podcasts and like keep on a thing and all that. And
I forgot about the puppy. Today, my wife goes, "We should maybe think about getting a puppy with the baby so they can bond."
That's what we did too, and it's cute and it's adorable. I wish you Godspeed, sir. It's doing them both at the same time with the puppy and the baby. It's it's fun. It's challenge. There's lots of mud everywhere, lots of love, lots of dog hair. Get a Dyson vacuum. I recommend it. But
I love the point when, because we have a dog too, right? And we got her before we had our second child, and there gets a point where the child and the dog mentally get to the same place at some point, and it's so cool to like
when that happens.
They're both pets. They can do the same amount of tricks, right? Like they're at an even level. It's pretty awesome.
We're waiting for that synchronicity to happen.
It's like it's a little after 1 year. It's like about equal. It's kind of cool. So.
Well, Lil Wotan, Elliot turned 6 months old, by the way, in about a week.
Nice.
So.
That's been 6 months.
It's been 6 months
Yeah.
since we started this journey.
That's awesome.
I'm just in love with the little dude. Like, he is babbling away. I swear he's saying dada, and he's loving eating like solid foods now. Mm-hmm. And having a son, this is my first time having a son. And I just, having a daughter was special and just amazing and full of goodness. But this is like different dimension almost of parenthood. And
it's a little you.
And I see my wife more in him than I see me. He's got his blue eyes, and I'm cool with that. Like, I just it's been cool, guys. So Thor, I am stoked for your future mini Thor.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And baby number 2 is always the best, because it's like first baby, you're just like, I hope I don't mess this up. The second one, you're like, let's have some fun,
I'm a little nervous because I feel like this is going to be like redoing it all over again, because it's been 9. My daughter's 9. Mm-hmm. She's the first one. This is the second one. He's going to be brand new out of the box, and she's going to be like 10.
Yeah.
So you won't sleep. You'll go through periods of just horrible, crazy times, and then like the moments will hit you. You know, he smiles and then he looks up at you, and you're like, "There's no stress in my life."
Yeah.
What is there to worry about? You know?
Right. Yeah. We have a 7-year gap between ours, and that was unique. You know, because we both were like, diapers again. Like we
I know
forgotten about it. You know, and we're just like, oh. And
well, you blacked that out.
This was a time in my life when me and my buddies were really into Destiny, the first Destiny. We'd get on every night, like dinner time, and we'd play for like an hour or two, and we were having a lot of fun. I was by far the worst person in our like group or clan or whatever they called them or whatever. So anytime there was a jumping puzzle, I would like just die, and it was a big joke. But, but anyway, I remember I had to like the baby came, and I was like, I have to give up Destiny. Like this, I'm like, I'm too old for this stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to give up things anymore. I already did that with one kid. And so I gave it up. It's all good. But
it's tough. I gave up VR for the most part.
The VR.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because
having that space. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll get into it again, but like, Cathonics and I need to be aware of our environment now with an infant around, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to accidentally, if he's on the ground or, you know, there's a puppy on the ground, I don't want to step on them. And so I'll come back to later.
I know my world's going to get upended, but I'm just going to reveal this now too. But we're wanting to have like 3 more after this one. So that for a total of 5.
That's awesome.
Well, you know, once you have 2, you might as well have 3, 4, or 5.
Right. Might as well just,
you know,
why stop? I mean, you need a basketball team at some point.
That's right. The football team.
And the older one can teach the younger ones sort of the way, right? How to navigate the family. Yeah. And you got a nice like automated system going at some point there.
So I'm one of 5 kids, so I like big families, but I just not for myself.
Feels good.
Not anymore. Yeah,
not for you.
I mean, we're done.
Godspeed,
at
Thor,
3,
not for me.
3 kids, we're good. We got 3 kids, 2 dogs. Like we're set.
It's 7 beings in that house, don't you?
Yeah, we got 7 beings. And we haven't even talked about like the ROM or the ROM gnomes or like the ghosts or whatever in the house too, probably.
Right. They're around.
We have a spooky door in our attic, Russ, by the way, that I don't know where it goes to. Like it's like a mini door. It's like 2.5 feet tall.
Oh no.
I looked up there and I saw a little door at the end of the attic and I'm like, didn't see that in the plans.
So I'm pretty
sure it goes.
It's got like a lock on it and like some weird foreign language writing on it.
Like weird. I'm gonna take a camera out there.
The writing starts to glow. Like,
oh, is there a key? The door starts speaking. You
start dreaming about the door. You know,
my wife and I've been talking about this. Like, which one of us is going to go up there and see what's in that door? Yeah. You know, I don't. The previous owners don't know about it. They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, I looked up in the attic and there's a door to somewhere in that attic. Like, we don't remember a door. I'm like, all right. So, anyways, more to come. I will reveal this in the future if I ever come back from whatever.
Door.
Well, yeah, and I might change realities or who knows what's going to happen.
Oh man, those former owners, they could have really done something. You know, they could have been like, "We sealed that off." You know what I mean? Like,
it's probably not
like, right. That's not supposed to be there. The priest said it would go away.
There's one rule of this house: do not go through the door.
Right.
You know. I'm really curious and scared. Well, on that one, guys, do you think we had a good point of closing it out?
I think this was great.
Yeah. Me too.
Thanks for coming on again, man. Dude, we always have such a good time with you. Seriously.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You know, I am the kind of guy, you know, I don't want to put myself on other people, but as you guys know, like I messaged you and I was like, I'm officially letting you know it's been enough time that we can do this again.
We can do an episode.
So I thank you for letting me invite myself back on. So
anytime. And come back for the 3326
that's a great sentence.
video.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got it all.
If you want, because I don't know. Some of them I don't have, and I don't know what to say about them. Like the RGB10, the original one. I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, it's so good. I got 2 of those. So
seems very.
I don't have the original RGB20 anymore. The one that's like the worst looking like Famicom one. But yeah, I did have it. So
you had it. I'm just.
Well,
I
wanted to ask about that too. On the way. So
yeah.
So yes, we all do. The 3 of us. I got my shipping notice. Between us 3, I think we have every 3326 that is out
or close,
or we've had it.
Right.
So we can talk about this with some authority.
Yeah.
So more to come, everybody. Thank everybody for joining us and listening again. Thank you to our patrons. We don't say this enough, and our premium members. We need to come up with a better word to like put both groups together. But yeah, just we're so stoked to be doing this content for you guys. So
Absolutely.
we hope that we gave you an enjoyable episode. And if there's anything that you want us to talk about in the future, let us know in the comments, all that good stuff. Talk to us on Discord. We are here to do retro stuff, other stuff, and just heartwarming stuff too. So, hey, this has been Stubbs and
Thor.
And Russ.
And Russ, that guy.
And we'll see you next time on the Retro Handhelds podcast.
Later.
Bye, guys.